Yeah, so I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry if you guys are here.
You're sorry for them.
I mean, I am. I feel.
You dragged me up here, and you're sorry to them.
Yes, it is true. It is very, very true.
You didn't have to accept.
But Craig,
you love being I didn't. You don't understand what dragged meant.
Craig, you love being the centre of attention, so I don't see the problem here.
I read what I saw.
You could have escaped while you had the chance. You were just standing out there saying that she asked you to be on. And
Microphone.
but here's the thing. Be careful, because I will drag you up here, too.
You better not.
Quiet.
I share mics with no one.
I will stand. I am loud enough without the mic, trust and believe. Those who know me outside of just this are very well acquainted with that fact.
Even if you're just standing outside, everyone knows that.
So,
Half the street knows we're here right now just because of you being like, when you walked in, just being like, we're here! We've got someone somewhere.
So,
someone has arrived.
So, hello and welcome to Community Projects.
Hang on a second. How come you're starting this when it's my panel? Hello and welcome to the Rooster Teeth Community Projects panel. I'm surprised so many of you are here. Thank you. I'm Joe, and I run RT Radio. So for those of you who turn up to that, thank you very much. Let's go down the line and introduce ourselves.
I'm Matt Van de Zande, aka Retrograder. I am the lead staff writer at BIGBITE.
Woo-hoo-woo! I'm Tasha. I do things occasionally. I also occasionally play in community things, and I will leave it at that. So.
I'm here. Hi. Despite what people may have questioned, this is not a Brexit shirt. I actually run RTUK. Hi, I'm Craig. Nice to see you all. How you doing?
Yay!
Yeah,
there you go. Cool.
Yeah, okay,
and that's the end of our panel. No.
Thank you all for coming.
So what we're going to do, we're going to chat about each of our projects, how they got started, how people can get involved, and how you can start your own project, and how you should go about starting your own project. So first off, seeing as it's me, I'm going to talk about RT Radio, and thankfully, I didn't have to start RT Radio. Katie did, Katie Ward, and that was awesome because it meant minimal effort for me getting it started. And
so really, just make sure someone else starts the project and then you follow up
make
and
sure
make it
someone
better,
really
okay?
popular starts it and then you take over. That's the best way to do it. But no, seriously, Katie started RT Radio nearly 3 years ago now as just a place to hang out on the community site, and it's grown to 2 shows a week on Thursday and Fridays, and loads and loads of members of the community started their interactions there, and that's what I love most, that's how people got themselves introduced into the community. Of course, last year was a little bit of a issue with 6 months of no chat to use on the site. So now we're in the rebuilding stage, but we're still very much here and going strong. Matt.
Okay, cool, it's my turn.
Just your alarm goes off.
That was not mine, that was someone's. But thank you for whoever timed that alarm perfectly. As I said, when I introduced myself, I'm the lead writer at BIGBITE Media. How many of you have heard of BIGBITE so far? Yes!
Hey!
Yay.
I am so sorry.
We're so
Why are you
sorry.
apologizing for me?
Because you also conscripted me to work there, so.
And
you know.
me.
Yeah. Blame him.
Thank you.
This is 3/4 BIGBITE panel as well, by the way.
I'm not a sellout.
Yes. Thank you, yes.
Give it a minute, Craig. Just let it sink in.
One of
Cut
us.
off one head,
One.
2 more takes.
Is this the introduction to it right now?
Yes, we're
You're
initiating
signed
right
now. This is it.
Yeah,
This
you
is,
agreed
this
to
is
the
how we
panel.
get
That's part of it. So BIGBITE started with James Parrott. Is it Parrott?
Parrot.
Parrott, thank you. James Parrott, who Started it off actually as just this mock magazine cover, and then it grew into Big Bite magazine. I joined the second issue because I had started my own writing project called Retrograde Reviews, where I reviewed classic video games, and then James just says, well, they put out a tweet that got retweeted by the RT community, which is how I found it. That's another thing. It's just if you're looking to get something, just be active on social media. It's the quickest and best way.
Absolutely agree with that.
So that's how I found Big Bite, and I said, hey, I'm a writer, I'll write for you guys. 2 months later, they were asking me to write for them every month, and then probably 3 weeks after that, and we kind of sort of developed a hierarchy at Big Bite, and I became lead writer. Last month, or I guess a month and a half ago about now, we transitioned from Big Bite Magazine to Big Bite Media, which we changed over to a website format, so we're bigbite.media, and because we're just out there looking for people to talk to, looking for talent, looking for artists, basically looking for anything we can get our hands on, as is evident by the fact that we're spreading across the community.
We're like a virus.
A very bad virus.
A very lovely virus.
You can't get it off your computer.
Yeah, one of those
so it's
good
on.
viruses. Whatever they are.
It's one of the. I'm failing at a metaphor right now.
Very accurate.
But and I've lost my train of thought now.
You are welcome.
You all called me a virus. When this is not my fault. I'm the writer.
It's
I'm not the
James's
founder.
fault.
Blame James Parrott.
Blame him, but since he's not here,
You have to blame Matt because he's
blame
hierarchy.
Matt. Blame Matt.
Fine.
Throw all of your flack towards him. So, yes. Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Go onto Twitter and tweet at JX Dalton.
That would be terrible.
You do realize that Joe is watching the stream.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I do.
probably is.
Hi, Joe.
Hello.
What was I talking about?
I don't remember.
Big Bite.
Okay.
Big bite and
Shockingly.
things. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I guess that's basically our history right there, is we went from magazine to media. And yeah, we'll talk about future projects here in a minute. Continue on to
Possibly.
probably. This is the projects panel.
This is? Oh,
Apparently
smokes.
so.
I thought I was at the Baby Seal Club panel. I'm sorry, guys. I need to just. But sweet. So I'll be coming over there. So for you guys, obviously know me, most of you here. I just like to do stuff in the community and try to connect people and get them connected with other folks. So what I ended up doing was I tried to get something really lovely together, which has had a lot of successes, albeit a couple of failures, which came out in the way of Rooster Teeth International Community Day / RT World, however you want to think about it. Basically, it was getting folks together who may not have a community in their home state, in their home region, area, whatever it may be, and try to connect them with other community members at least once a year in a venue that wasn't necessarily here at RTX, because not everyone can afford to come out to RTX. It's expensive sometimes, depending on where you live.
It's expensive all the time.
It's
It's
expensive all the
always
time,
expensive.
especially if you want to have a really, really fun time and buy all the goodies. So,
Or if you want to stay for 3 weeks.
or if you want to stay for 3 weeks, or if you're from the UK.
Yeah. Or if you don't do both.
Mom, so
Sheds a single tear.
just one.
World's tiniest violin.
But International Community Day is something that I've been working with. The best thing that has come out of that is honestly, we've created from that admin mentor community zone. So if you are someone who is looking to create a community in your area and you want to get involved and you're like, okay, that's great, let me make a community, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be super proactive. How the hell do I do this? I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, but I want people to come and show up and do all these cool things with me. Come find us.
Yeah.
I will lead you to the right people and be like, hey, here are people who are like really good at running communities. Craig.
She's like Moses.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe. Possibly.
There's all of Craig.
There's all Craigs.
We are Craig.
All of the Craigs. At least we don't have Sleepy Craig here, so.
Yet.
Give
it time. Is that the transition to me?
That is the
That's
transition
what I
to
do.
you. I was trying to make it smooth, but
That was
you
the
dropped the
perfect
ball there.
transition, Craig.
Thanks. I'm going to drop the mic after this.
Okay.
Watch.
Whoa.
So when it comes to community projects, I don't really do much in terms of project, but I do manage RTUK, as I mentioned earlier, which in itself is its own horrible, horrible mess. Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it, buddy. Representing well. No, it's kind of following on to what Tasha said, representing kind of a local area, whether it's a state or a country or various countries, as it might be. Whatever it is that you do when it comes to representing a community, that provides opportunities to branch out further from that. You'll find areas that people are interested in related to that you can then develop further. Just speaking for RTUK, I know that we've built up a gaming community, a creative community. People are interested in music at the moment as well. And there's all these avenues that we're looking at getting feedback on and capitalizing on. People have said that they want more social media across various things. So just before this weekend, we created a Snapchat, which reminds me I should probably Snapchat this right now, just be like, yay.
Just possibilities.
An Instagram account, because that's what people want. And through those, it's developing out further to be like, hey, we've got community events going on, we've got these other projects going on. Somehow from the ICD, I got involved in kind of co-managing it to an extent when needed.
Definitely not.
No.
Maybe, possibly.
By co-managing, I mean,
I
this
neither
is a
confirm nor
shambles, and
deny.
I'm going to speak up about this right now. It's exactly what I did, and suddenly everyone was like, we respect you. And I'm like, well, that went well, thank Christ.
I just connect them. I don't. I just watch it burn. You know.
It's true. But then there's another one.
She's
that's,
not even joking.
There's another one that's currently in development with a guy named Lenny, who was one of the Rooster admins. Shout out to you, buddy, if you're watching. He mentioned in chat before about doing some kind of pen pals thing, an international pen pals thing, which we're developing now. We're calling it RT Chatterbox. Chatter because teeth, and then box because PO box. That's how we're looking at doing it.
I think you should call it the Big Bite Chatterbox.
No. No. Big Bite does not get a hand in everything.
Yet.
Yes, we can.
No. Okay. Big Bite. If you guys are
All the hands
no,
in the
no,
everywhere.
I'm
no,
watching
no.
you. Very carefully.
Don't take over yet. You got to lead them in. Lead them in.
But yeah, that's something that we're currently working on, and the kind of concept behind that will be, there will be, say for example, 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever it is, a certain period of time where we will connect to anonymous people through handwritten letters where they can send gifts if they want to or whatever it is, and they will speak only through those letters. They'll make that connection through that and get to know the person through that. Once that time is up, that's when they're allowed to go to social media and actually find that person and then continue the friendship like that. We want to make this friendship grow from something physical rather than, you know, actually being online. We have the means of doing that. Let's create something with it, and that's what's in development. So if that's something you guys are interested in, keep an eye out for it. We're looking to get it going soon.
Also,
yeah.
retro was in, right? Like, yeah, maybe, possibly, kind of ish. Retro? Retro's in.
No,
Yeah.
retro.
Yeah, I mean,
it's vintage.
I'm totally hip on the thing. Macarena's the new hot dance, right?
I can't believe you were
That's
trying to
correct.
make people do the Macarena in the queue yesterday. It's full of 13-year-olds who don't know what the Macarena is.
If you were at the JW Marriott yesterday, I am sorry, not sorry. So give me back these.
I was representing.
You were representing, but so was I. You notice there's a divide here where, you know, we have folk kind of in Big Bite and kind of not in Big Bite and kind of also in Big Bite at the same time.
And not at all in Big Bite. Let's not forget this.
Okay. Let's make this clear right now. This is not the Big Bite panel.
Definitely not.
Yes, it is.
Definitely not.
I will point out that I will point out, as much sass as I'm giving it right now, Big Bite is one of the fastest growing and most fantastic opportunities to get involved in for a community project. There's many avenues that you can get involved in that, and the person to speak to about it is probably sitting like right there. So if you're interested in knowing what goes on with Big Bite, actually, you know what? Let's not wait to ask him.
Let's just
Explain.
get him to talk.
Oh, yeah. How do you get involved?
How do I get involved?
How do you
Yeah,
get
how do you get involved? You should know.
I don't know how to do these things.
You don't know how to do. Okay.
No, not at all.
Why don't you explain to our audience members how exactly one would go ahead and about getting involved in Big Bite, be
Okay.
it as a freelance or as a community member?
Okay. Quickest way to just get in touch with us is either on Twitter. You can go at Big Bite Media, or if you head to our website, which is bigbite.media, there's a form down at the bottom you can fill out. Let us know who you are, what you do. Send us some stuff. If we like it, we might add you to our staff. Even if we don't have time or don't have enough space for new people, we will gladly help you promote anything. We love getting out there and seeing new content. We partnered with Rooster Teeth actually to do Fan Art Fridays. How many are familiar with Fan Art Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, good handful.
good.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, that was something that we set up with them to kind of bring more people back to the Rooster Teeth site proper, and it's been great. We get new submissions every week. The wildest things, like the guy who makes pipe cleaner action figures.
That was really cool.
That
I
was
know.
really
I
neat.
felt so bad for him because he kept not winning.
Yeah.
And he submitted for like 6 weeks straight, and he finally won. So
Yeah.
good on you, pipe cleaner guy, if you're out there. Oh, someone says we're unprofessional. That's not nice of them. I got to hear on the Twitch chat. We are very professional.
Yes, we are.
I have a shirt
Super
with my
unprofessional
company's name
here.
on it.
Sorry. I take full credit for not being professional.
Talking about getting involved, with RT Radio, everyone can get involved just by turning up on Thursday and Fridays and just chatting with everyone, because it's very, very inclusive. If you just turn up, you will probably make 2 or 3 or 4 friends by the end of the show.
Oh, yes, Craig is unprofessional. Thank you, Twitch chat, for clarifying.
But the main thing that RT Radio's done is got different members of the community to pick the music on the nights that we do shows. At the moment, we're struggling because of the site, but it will come back, and that means more and more people can get involved and start showing their musical tastes to the rest of the group. And that's what I love most, because it brings new music to everyone, and it also means that I don't have to pick the music every day, and that's good as far as everyone else is concerned. As Paul can attest to, everyone's getting sick and tired of my music.
It's only so many times you can Madonna, but keep it all inside. So, just saying.
I did this is a great story. So after the Connected doc came out, I went through a stage of like 4 shows of just playing full albums. It was awesome. I played the whole of Fleetwood Mac Rumours.
I approve. I do.
I have no words.
How are we doing for time?
Are you dissing Rumours?
Me?
Not you, Craig.
All right, cool.
I know you have more respect.
Just sing rumors. I'm just playing the entire album in a row on a radio show.
But honestly, one of the big things I would definitely suggest, if you want to get involved and you want to create a project, there are community members that have worked on reaching out. They are doing things like getting basically blocking done, an audio transcripted version with blocking included for visually impaired RT members who cannot necessarily watch the shows that are going on right now, because while subtitles are great, doesn't quite give you the same feel. And while you may be able to hear the audio to some, you can hear it well enough, it doesn't give you the actual placement of what, the scene looks like and how the setting is. So that's a really cool project that's going on right now. There are a bunch of different things that try really hard to take off, and people don't have enough reach. So if you don't know where to go, please get in touch with someone, either through RT community, get in touch with someone who's ahead of your local community group, or BIGBITE Media. We will help you find other people who are interested, because chances are, if you want to create a project and you want something to really do well, be it
there are other people who have the same interest as you, and you will find people who are interested in your project.
Even if you just want to write or do art or whatever, we're great people to get in touch with, because for me, it actually just started as something to put on a resume. It wasn't like, I was like, oh, this is cool, this is community group, and then, sorry, I needed to be closer to my microphone. I started with BIGBITE, and I was like, I'll write for them, it'll help me put something on a resume, and then it started to grow, and then we started to bring in more people, and then it just turned into this great adventure, and I couldn't be happier. And now I'm here. This is my first RTX. I'm on 2 panels. I have a press pass. It's amazing.
Dun, dun,
So the
dun.
possibilities are endless.
He has too much power. Quickly stop him.
What?
We're looking at you
You've been
because
quiet. It's your
you've
turn
been
to
super
talk.
quiet.
I mean,
I don't
yes.
trust you.
You don't trust me?
Well,
No.
at least when you're quiet like this.
Great, cool. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I'm kind of at a point where if people want to question me on stuff, I'll answer questions.
I mean,
I question your decision making.
You're right, I'm here. I question my decision making. Yeah, literally, I got nothing else. I mean, UK, lots of stuff. Yay, community, get involved. It's
Brexit.
good. Fun. That's why we're all here, after all, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah?
yeah.
I will say something. There have been projects which have started on the site which have been about people wanting to make a name for themselves, which isn't what the site is there for. It's not to, I want to be a big person in the community, or I want RT to notice me. Don't
Yeah.
don't start your project.
That's the worst time to raise my hand.
Yeah.
I didn't do
Don't start your project thinking along those lines.
Yeah.
Think along the lines of you want to connect with people, you want to share something, and you want to make something you're going to enjoy. Don't think, yeah, I'm going to make Barbara notice me, or I'm going to make Bernie notice me, and then he'll hire me. It's not gonna be like that. Apart from
Yeah,
Craig.
that's the other thing. As I mentioned that
Craig, speak.
I have something to say.
you can wait.
Craig, speak.
Following on from that situation, the thing to keep in mind with community is that it is a collective thing. And if starting off a community project is something that you're interested in, remember that the community project is not you. You are not the project. The project is the community. And there have been numerous instances where it's a learning curve. That's the thing with it. I don't fault people on doing this because, if they're just getting started in it, adopting the mindset of managing some kind of community project or a community as a whole is something that develops over time. Once you start off a project, the thing to keep in mind is that that project isn't you. It's always
Nothing
we.
survives first contact.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It's always we.
D&D reference.
Quiet, you. My time. Come on. Yeah. When it comes to RTUK and other things that I've been involved in, I manage the Twitter, I manage the Facebook and things like that. And whenever I'm making some kind of decision or announcement or something like that, it's never a case of, I'm making this announcement. I'm not RTUK at the end of the day. I really don't want to be RTUK at the end of the day because it is a collective community.
Welcome to Big Bite.
I made a mistake.
Me too.
It's always we. We have made the decision to do this for you guys.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one person who's hosting a meet at any given point, it's not, I'm here. So you won't see on, hopefully you won't see anyway from RT Radio, Big Bite, ICD, or RTUK. I am at this location from that community channel. It's always, we are hosting a meet at this location, come and join us. Even if that's just one person, because that makes it a more collective community feel. So keep that in mind, because if this is something that you guys are interested in and, getting involved in projects and stuff like that, keep that community focus. Like, I love the community, that's why I do what I do. And I don't want it to be a situation where I make it all about myself or anyone makes it all about themselves.
He's all for the glory.
I'll say along the same sort of lines. A lot of people have used their own, have used a community group's Twitter account like their own. So they'll just have conversations and tweet about what they're doing at this whenever, instead of it being the group focus. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of groups do make, and it's one that you should definitely try to avoid at all costs.
Whatever it is that you
Shout
put
out to the person who has the R2D2 text tone.
Shout out to the person in Twitch chat who wrote "Big Bite is evil." I like
That's
that.
the thing. Get off the Twitch chat.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Shout out to the person who's already vying for your job now that you're part of Big Bite.
I've noticed that.
Has Craig been added to the Big Bite chat yet?
No,
Maybe.
and I won't. I will leave immediately. Whatever it is that you put out, that is the voice of the community project and the voice of the community as a whole. So if you make that all about yourself, that's how it's going to come across. It's going to come across selfish and stuff like that. Whereas if you make it warm, welcoming, inclusive, by the way, you are all welcome in RTUK. I don't care where you live. Please join us, boost our figures. We're more likely to get an RTX UK that way, I believe. Please join
I
us.
mean, maybe.
Maybe.
They could
Maybe.
just, they could just leave
Maybe.
England.
Hold on. Maybe.
Oh, yes, maybe.
But yeah, it's always a case of whatever you put out, that's the voice of whatever project it is you're doing. And if you want that to seem closed off, that's how the project is going to be at the end of the day. If you want that to be warm and welcoming, promote that aspect of it and be like, please come get involved. That's what I strive to do, and I know that everyone here strives to do as well, especially BIGBITE. Especially BIGBITE.
I think we're converting him. No, but
okay.
the big thing I really would say is, you know, projects are really successful when you take the time to say, hey, I need help. I want more help. I need other people's opinions. You get a lot of feedback and you get a lot of great experience when you're able to turn to others. And people have a lot of great ideas that you'll be like, oh, snap, I didn't realize that if I did this way, then a bunch of other people can see it and they can get involved, and this makes it more open and welcoming. Again, nothing survives first contact. You may have a great idea and it may not end up being that original idea, but it will still be a really fun learning experience. You'll make a lot of friends and you will, you know, and you can do a lot of really cool things. I know a lot of people have gotten together and raised a ton of money for charity and done a lot of really awesome things, and they've made lifelong friends from it. So, and at the end of the day, I mean, we're all here because friends. That's how this happened. That's how RT got started. That's how, you know, a lot of the parent the companies that are part of the RT community or the RT site. I can't English anymore. I'm sorry, guys.
I can.
But you know that's how a lot of these big groups that, you know, people are massive fans of. That's how that got started. It's not one person. More often than not, it's not a single person that made Kinda Funny or made one thing, or, you know, it's not all Bernie. It's not all Matt. It's a huge collective, and it takes a lot of opinions to actually craft something into something really amazing, and it's really possible. So if you don't have an idea, just reach out. Someone will help you. Someone will guide you. Someone will help. I don't know. I had inspiration and it just died. I'm gone. Someone else
Okay.
talk.
I got
Matt
it.
talk.
Yep. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit because you mentioned, like, obviously don't go out with the intention of making a big name for yourself. I did mention the resume thing. I didn't mean that as a here's
Totally
the whole
did.
thing. But on that line, one of the things that I always remember Monty Ohm said was, what we end up making is always larger than what we think it's going to be. And that has been so true since I have started with BIGBITE, and even with my own personal project, which is how I got into BIGBITE. We started off as this group of probably 3 or 4 people trying to make a magazine, and now we have just shy of 500 followers on Twitter. I got to talk to the creative director at Supergiant Games last month, and I'm here at RTX, and I would have never guessed that we would be here. And it is about friends. Craig, you can wait a second. I am being emotional right now.
I'll stay here. Go.
Okay. You ruined the moment, Craig.
Remember that mic drop moment I mentioned?
It was just there.
It was him dropping the mic.
Yes.
I'm good at what I do. Here's something to keep in mind. RTUK, I took over last year. Joe, you said that you took over RT Radio, yeah?
Yeah, I took over from Katie about 6
And
months.
BIGBITE's going to take over both of you.
None of them, mate.
Ignore. Who in the crowd wooed? Enemies everywhere.
Multiple boos.
We're watching
I
you.
like it.
Matt, you joined BIGBITE during its
Brainwashed.
growth. Tasha, have you created something other than the ICD yourself?
I mean, I guess technically I've revived the RT main community.
Okay.
So
Twitch
You-
chat, Vince.
possibly.
Tasha, you're the one on this panel right now who's had the experience with starting a project.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
ICD is something that you started yourself. Yeah, you can model. Well, when it comes to starting a project, plan it.
Yes.
Not like Earth or anything like that.
No. Plan it.
Okay. a lot of depth has to go into it when you come up with an idea. It's all well and good to have an idea, but to launch out there immediately and go, we're going to do this, that, the other, you're going to make empty promises that you won't be able to fulfill. You need to take the time to sit down and analyze it. Can we actually achieve at this point in time, especially if you're just getting started? If you're like, I'm going to make a post and it's going to go out to about 1,000 people, how is it going to go out to about 1,000 people? Who are you going to contact to boost this project's concept and get people to know what it is that you're about, what it is that you want to do, and get more people involved? Don't just run headfirst into it. Please take the moment. If you have an idea, I like to think that a lot of people here collectively are very creative people who can come up with their own ideas. We're smart, that's
Possible.
not you. Not you. If there's, you're okay. Yeah, don't worry. If there's an idea that you're interested in, start thinking about it now and think, how can I make this a concept? How can I make this grow? How can I get people involved? And I will heavily recommend doing any kind of community involvement work, because I can truthfully say, since getting into the RT community back in 2014 is when I actually got into it. I've made quite the way myself in 2 years to now run RTUK, yay.
Too much power.
But it's not a dictatorship, whatever people say.
Yeah.
The main thing that I've come out of this community with is people who I'm very thrilled to call my best friends. I've got a relationship from this community as well. The people who you meet are people who... Yay! The people who you meet are the people who you will hopefully stay with for a lifetime, and you can make those connections. And this kind of thing, this project opportunity, even if it's just a local community, that's your starting point.
Yeah.
So, get out there, meet people. It's a wonderful community. Get
I've got to
involved.
agree with that, 1,000,000,000%. There's a guy out there, Paul. His name's Smileable. It's like, we're very, very close friends just because of RT Radio, basically. The first time I met Paul, he stayed at my flat, basically. And we've been very close friends basically for, 2 years now? Yeah. Just because of meeting in the RT Radio chat. And that kind of thing is what the community really is about. It's making friends. And that's what the projects are there for.
But the one thing I would say is, especially when I created ICD or RT World, whichever you want to call it, it wasn't in part to take over anything that was already existing. It was in part to give people a different space if they wanted it, to get involved if they didn't feel comfortable. A lot of folks, if they're here on the site, know that sometimes the forums can be super daunting, and know that some of the groups feel either inactive or don't feel necessarily the most inclusive. So being able to reach out to a lot of newer members and say, hey, if you aren't already involved in something, you want to get involved, here's an opportunity, here's a place to meet other folk. Let's get other projects involved with it. We got involved with BIGBITE and had them help us a little bit. We got involved with RT Radio. We did a special. We tried a lot of different things, and we pulled it together really quickly, given that the concept was for Rooster Teeth's 13th birthday. And we had about 3 weeks to pull a bunch of different stuff together. But as ICD sits now, we have about 50 different community admins and groups. I should not specify the admins themselves, but 50 different community groups that are part of our admin mentor chat that help each other get different projects going and get our communities better connected and involved. So while it's not a project in the traditional sense of it has a completion date, it has grown in a way that is, I don't know, I feel like it has fostered a lot of growth in terms of our local communities and better strengthening what some people like to say isn't really a great community anymore, which I call absolute BS on.
Yeah. Because
you guys are all phenomenal, and that's the reason RTX is so successful as well as a community.
I've got to say there was something that happened in the RT World ICD chat, which was sorting out what was going on in California as far as RT groups is concerned.
Yeah. if you're from California, hey, you're in the crowd. I think we have a couple of them. I don't know how many you guys are watching at home from California. It's a long way out here to Texas, but Yeah, that is one thing I will say. We were extremely successful, in part also due to Craig's experience managing 2,000 and change people for the UK. We were all able to come together as a bunch of admins and give advice to this very disparate collective of groups that were spread all across California.
I think there were 3 in LA.
There were three or four in LA. I don't know. I think we had about 13 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they've become a lot more cohesive at this point, and they are doing a swell job at making California, which is a really big state.
You know what my favorite thing about the California project is?
What?
You added me into this and you were just like, give them advice on how to, manage all this.
Like I said,
There is an 8-hour time difference between where I am and California. So very often,
Totally reasonable.
Very often, I wake up the next morning and see 100+ messages in the chat of decisions that have gone on, and I'm like, scroll.
as if you don't already have enough to do. But no, the thing is there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with getting involved. There really, really isn't. There are tons of people who will be here to help you. If you don't know someone, I'm really good at connecting someone to someone else and be like, hey, this person might be able to help you. Go talk to them. Make friends. Be happy. I also don't do a lot of management, it turns out. I also just tend to shove a bunch of people together and be like, hey, okay, don't burn anything down. Okay, bye.
Tasha
So-
basically just points people in the direction of people who will actually be helpful.
Yes.
Can I just jump in for a second on the don't burn anything down?
Yeah.
I left the UK to come here at a very sensitive time.
Same.
Turning to the camera again. Please don't destroy things, guys. I don't know what I'm coming home to.
I live in
Please make
London.
it good.
Please don't burn my flat down.
So yeah.
On that note, though,
fun.
you should all get #Craigsit.
Get that trending. Get that trending quickly. But yeah, is there anything else you guys really want to say?
I don't think so, right?
No?
We can take questions.
Any more snide comments?
Snide comments.
Snide comments.
How long you got? No, I'm good.
Heckling. We'll take it all. Anyone questions?
Anything? I mean, if you guys have
Questions, comments,
Anything.
concerns. Hey.
A lot of projects have actually started with like a lot of 24-hour streams to help people out when they're in financial difficulties. There was one a couple of weeks ago where there's a 24-hour stream for a big community member called Audrey, who's going through some medical issues, and a lot of streamers came together and streamed for 24 hours on Twitch to raise money so that she can pay some of the medical bills. And the community is great at coming together for those kind of things.
There's a current one at the moment. I think I saw someone driving over to RTX this time who had a horrible crash, I think, and left them stranded. So there's currently a fundraising thing going on for them that I'm aware of that's trickling around. So keep an eye out for that on social media as well if you want to support them. But kind of linking on to the whole kind of community support projects and charity work related to community projects. How many of you guys are familiar with SideQuest?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
SideQuest is a fantastic sub-community and project in itself, and it was Thursday night?
Yes.
Thursday.
Yep.
Thursday night they actually had their charity event. There's a lot of different opportunities for what you can do with the project. You can make it charitable if you want to, or you can just make it a community environment for everyone to come together. So it really comes down to your passion at the end of the day. If you want to do something that's going to help and be charitable, you can make it that.
Yeah.
But specify that. Please specify that. Don't just run in there and go, this is what we're going to do, and everything's going to go to charity.
Yeah, it is good, especially when you want to do a community project, to let your community know what you want to do and how, if any funds are going to be raised, how they will be spent. If it's just in the sense of you're going to raise money in order to fund it for next year, in order to fund it for the year after, and so on and so forth. Or if it's we're raising money so that way we can donate it to a local charity or an international charity or whatever cause just happened, if, some nature
And
flooding whatever.
You don't have to dedicate your whole project to the charitable cause. You can say, for instance, like BIGBITE or RT Radio or RTUK or any group can say, okay, this month we're going to do a series of events and we want to try and raise money for this thing. Don't think just because your community group hasn't done anything like that before, you can't say to your admin or just say in chat or however you guys communicate that, hey, can we do this together, and can we try and raise money for that? It's perfectly feasible, and lots of groups do it. RT Radio did one about 15 months ago for Youth Music, which is a music charity in the UK, which helps underprivileged kids get into music. And as I thought that's a great charity to do some fundraising for. So I think we raised about £400 in 3 weeks, and that was fantastic to me. And I'm sure we'll be doing more projects like that in the future.
Yep.
We're going to get you a mic,
We're gonna-
sorry.
a microphone.
Okay,
Hey.
on that point, I just wanted to say, like, don't be dejected if you are the only one going there. You've put in 2 hours. That's 2 hours of like community work that wouldn't have been done otherwise.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely,
You've
yeah.
raised $5. That's $5 that wouldn't have
Yep.
gone to them anyway. So,
Yep.
like, even a small amount is just great work.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
agree.
Yeah.
Putting
Absolutely.
community projects together, that's great.
Yeah.
Yes, and the good.
I actually wanted to ask, I run a group on the site. I'm Jarius, by the way.
Yeah, definitely introduce yourself. And what do you run?
I run a group called Adopt a Newbie on the site.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant
Ah, yeah.
work.
Yeah.
It used to, it stemmed from a original forum thread that was posted by some old hat user that doesn't frequent the site anymore. And the purpose of it is to help a lot of new community members who join the site for the first time who don't know their ass from their head on the site. It's fine. I didn't know my ass from my head on the site when I first joined. And the purpose of it is to pair people who know their way around the site, have adapted, especially in the wake of the post-migration, to help them out, give them tips about not just the site in general, but the community that lives on the site and how to conduct yourself and just form relationships, that kind of stuff. My actual question is, when you're looking for admins or just people to help with these certain projects that you either want to start or lead, what kind of qualities do you look for in someone who that you need, or like when you're looking for someone to help?
How hard are they?
No, I honestly, I would say that if we're looking for people, or if you're looking for others to join your cause, definitely make sure that they have the time to dedicate to it.
Yep.
It's a lot of people have a lot of passion and not a lot of time, so that is a huge thing. And make sure it's actually feasible. It is okay to start small, have a big idea, and then shrink it down,
Yep.
or get it into multiple bites. That's something that ICD had to really roll back in terms of
Multiple
things
big bites.
I was literally about to make that joke.
There is only one big bite.
All right, I'm done.
Either of you guys?
What about
wanna
Little
jump in on
Nibbles,
that?
our new food and beverage company?
Do you guys want to jump in on that before I do as well? Kind of
No,
how
jump
you
away,
find
jump
admins
away.
and stuff.
Really, the only thing that I would look for in somebody, at least for the small time, is just enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I'd quickly like to say, I'm sure he's probably watching. Maurice, thank you very much for running the group while I'm in Austin, and for your work during the couple of years you've been admin on the group. Thank you very much.
By all means, Craig.
Okay.
You have the floor.
So we spoke earlier about how California has been developed into a smaller number of groups, and honestly, that's a wonderful thing.
If
You're
you guys are in
welcome somehow
California.
from my 8-hour time difference. I got you. This kind of stemmed from the growth that, the advice that I gave based on the growth of RTUK, where I now manage about 45 people across various aspects of the community. They're people who run social media pages. It could be specific ones, or it could just be the Facebook and Twitter account when I can't. And now Instagram and Snapchat. Please follow us.
What's that at?
Later. Big Bite. We've got admins who do those, but we also have regional ambassadors. And the regional ambassadors are the guys who I'm slowly trying to push more to get involved. They're going to be the guys who will represent the community out and about. They're going to be the guys who will host events and such like that.
You
Matt,
mean like
who's
the
sitting over
face
there.
of
Matt, my boy,
RTUK?
you're doing a great job. Thank you for all the work that you do. The ambassadors are essentially a case of whenever I'm looking for someone to bring onto the team, are they someone who's actually committed to doing this? And again, mentioning that point of they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it as an opportunity to bring something to the community and, you know, give members the opportunity to get involved in it. I'm always on the lookout for that. And if someone's passionate in that and, you know, they have that presence about them where they'll go on social media and they'll specifically put things out there for people to comment on and get involved in and discuss and things like that, they are good people to look for as admins and get involved in, because they're the ones who will push that community focus. And yeah, I'm very lucky to have the team that I do have. They're wonderful. The guys up in Scotland, Jamie, I know you're watching. You asked for a shout out. There it is. Don't ask me ever again.
That's all you're getting.
Cut off.
Guys over in Scotland, guys over in Northern Ireland, we cover as much of the area as we can based on those personalities and their willingness to do something. And it's still a project that's in development. I want to get as much out there for the community as we can do, but keep an eye out for those people in your community who are active and who do the things which heavily promote the community. They're wonderful people to have as part of your team.
Yeah.
Like, that's my 2 cents on it anyway.
Yeah.
I think we had a question over there.
Yes.
Shut up, Savannah. Not you. Not you.
Not you, Savvy.
Oh,
Hi,
sweet
I'm
Pit Boy.
Savannah. I'm the founder of RT Alabama.
Woo, woo, woo!
I was wondering how y'all would.
Y'all.
It was
It's
lovely.
okay,
Please
we're
continue.
British.
What you all guys would. What you would say to help promote community involvement? Because obviously we do a lot of cross-platform promotion. We have like Twitter and Facebook and on the RT site, but it's hard to get our members to respond to us. We do polls and we ask questions, but it's hard to get them to interact. So how would you advise us to get that?
I would say that's probably the most difficult aspect of
Yep.
the whole game. For me, it's a case of, because we have a set time and set place to go to, it brings people to us quite freely. But from a physical standpoint and from actually getting communication going, it is difficult. For my way of doing it is just to pester and keep going and keep pushing to try and get the responses, so you know if you're going in the right direction or not. Yep. Luckily, I can speak directly to everyone in the chat, so I would recommend setting up something like that, like a group messaging system, so that people are aware and you can contact them directly instead of trying to go through social media all the time.
Another thing I would say is just keep pushing. Like, whenever it's a new group, if you're getting a new community project or a new community up and off the ground and running, keep pushing. There are community groups that have existed for years, and I'm talking years, on both the site and on Facebook and other places, and people still walk up and, oh my God, I didn't know you guys existed. I had no idea whatsoever. Like, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, I never knew. It's the internet, it gets buried quickly. Constantly toss it out there. You know, do things often, tweet out every day if you can. Just be as present as possible. Try to connect with other communities to get that extra exposure if you can. And, you know, to get them involved, if you want to have events, just do events. Have them set. And, you know, every, on Community Day on the 15th of every month, we are going to do whatever. Change it up. If you have people that are willing to host events in different locations, have them do that.
Yeah.
You know, get as many people as you can who are already active, because, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I don't really have a community. We only have 6 people. No, you do have a community. You just have to work to grow it. And part of that is being able to go, okay, can you, person who is involved in the community, maybe host something on this day? I have to work, or I have school, or I have whatever other obligation. Okay, you do it that day. Try to do something online. Try to do something in person. Give people opportunities. And don't give it a wishy-washy. Be like, this is what we are doing. this is how we will, handle it, and this is where we will be. Come join us.
Yep.
Make it a actual statement instead of a question.
Yep.
And people go, oh crap, there's something happening there. Okay, I better go.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
it doesn't
Be
happen immediately.
as assertive as possible.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid that, okay, there's only going to be a couple of people turn up to an event. That's
It's
fine.
totally fine.
Yeah.
The-
It starts
if
small.
people know about it and come, then great. They're going to tell other people if they've had a great time, and they should do because it's an RT community event, and then you'll get more people involved that way. So it doesn't matter if you start with 2 or 3 people. You'll get billions.
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it on the far left side.
Always with Craig.
Okay, Alabama. Too late.
I like you.
Alabama, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what social media do you have?
Facebook, Twitter, our site. We've got a Facebook page and a Facebook group.
Okay.
So you're on the 3 main.
How many people post on that post on those being like, hey, I'm new to this community frequently? How many new to the community posts do you get?
Like never.
Okay. First thing that I would recommend, keep pushing your events.
Yeah.
The second thing, I love Adopt a Newbie. I think that's a
Yes.
fantastic concept. And what I've started doing based on that is any time that I see someone go onto a social media page and post, hey, I'm new to this community, blah, 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 I'm instantly the first comment on that, being like, welcome to this community. And I just start a discussion. I go, okay, it's always the same question, really. Which one's your favorite? Achievement Hunter, Funhouse, Screw Attack. I open it up like that and I make it Rooster Teeth related. And that opens a conversation with them. Social anxiety is a very difficult thing for a lot of people that they struggle with. And you have to find a way to make them feel welcome without being overbearing to them, essentially. And if you go out there and you are just one person making that connection, like I manage a community, technically, I've got a whole group of friends. That's how I look at it. I don't care what I do for RTUK. They are all my friends, and I'm very privileged to call them friends. And I will go out there, whether it's at an event that we're hosting. If I see someone sitting alone and I'm busy doing something, I'll send an ambassador over to go and speak to them. So there's always that one person who initiates that engagement with them and gives them a friend, at least. And then from there, even if it's me, I can take them over to a group of people who I already know and get them involved in that conversation. And, that way it's going to promote them, it's going to make them feel involved and not feel left out. And if you are a strength in yourself who can push that aspect of you're part of this community, instantly from that you're welcome there and you can be that positive figure, and people see that, the more they see that, the more they're going to want to be involved with as well.
Yeah.
Keep pushing your ideas and then make people feel welcome with it.
All right.
Think
God,
you were first.
so many, but we need to just do one more. You had your hand up first,
Yeah, you
so.
had first.
Sorry.
Omar.
Give us 1 second.
Okay, first of all, I want to say, Craig, we give you a lot of stick, but you're doing a great job.
Don't lie to me.
No, but I know managing a community must take time. It takes planning. It takes patience. My question is where do you find the time? How do you keep track of everything? Where do you find the patience to
You
do
make
this?
the time.
Day 5 real life.
Yeah, you have to make time for these things.
It's true.
If it's something that you're truly passionate about, you will make the time.
Yeah.
It's true. The growth of the group with the 45 people who I manage is partly so that I don't have to do 45 other people's jobs, essentially.
Yeah.
The more ambassadors and admins that you have, the easier it is on you because any community stuff is voluntary.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a lot of time, depending on how in-depth it is. I mean, I can speak for myself saying 3,000 plus Twitter followers, 2,000 plus Facebook people. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay? And I do spend a lot of time scrolling through each one of those pages and seeing all the posts that I can do. I miss a lot of them because my other admins have already beaten me to it. Great, but that way, it's still involvement, and that's, again, work that I don't have to do. The more of your community you can get involved in that, the less pressure it is on you. So, I do sit there and I go, I manage 45 people who make my life easy. I manage 45 people so I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Again, use others to make your life easier. Okay, I think we
called
can actually
delegating.
take one more. Sarah in the
We've
back.
got-
Hi, I'm Danny from RT SoCal.
Hello, Danny.
Well,
RT SoCal.
Hi, how's it going? Yeah, I just want to say, because earlier you guys were talking about the crash that happened, I just wanted to really quickly say some stuff about it. His name is Alejandro, and he is okay, just so
That is
anybody's
awesome.
wondering.
Good.
He is okay. Yeah, Michael actually reached out to him, and yeah, he responded, and he said he was okay. And he actually put out an update yesterday that said someone actually managed to get him from over to San Antonio, and he's going to continue his trip as planned.
Awesome.
So
Yes.
all the funds that are being raised are going to be going towards car repairs. So far he only has 515 out of 2,000. So if
Yeah.
you guys could go ahead and help him, that'd be really awesome. Again, his name is Alejandro Zaragoza, and the event title is RTX Disaster. So
Awesome.
if you guys
Cool.
could help out, that'd be awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We can take one more.
Final question?
Hi, my name
Hi.
is George, founder of Bang Bus at RTX 2016.
No.
Anyway,
All right, we're gonna do your Yep, that's it.
Made it almost 55
Bang Bus.
Cut that mic. Cut that mic.
My question is,
42.
how do you, in terms of regards of community projects, how do you deal when people start to get out of sync?
In terms of like dealing with one another, or
One another or in groups when multiple people like start to get their own ideas and then they start like conflicting with each other?
okay, so when you have a situation where you end up having whenever you get a lot of people, there will be a lot of different ideas, and there will be a lot of different personalities to deal with, especially if you're trying to kind of keep them very confined. And people will eventually, at some point, no matter what, have an issue with another individual. The best thing is try to create enough opportunity and enough spaces where people do feel comfortable and they do feel like they have an individual or individuals to talk to about that. So that way they feel like as if they have a position in the community that either in the project or the community where they are able to talk to someone else. If you're talking about just projects themselves, I also think that it is a great thing to help support and encourage that. And if other people are willing to join that, as long as it is not directly negatively affecting other people, like it's a fine line to walk. Like if you brought them in for one project and they're trying to change everything about yours, you can say that is fine. That is good. This is the community project that we had created, and this is the one that we will continue working with here. We can help you make this a reality as well. You don't have to. One does not negate the other. So I think that is something we strive to do, is to create more, not less, or have it implode in terms of projects and then also the community. Other thoughts? Because that's about all I got for that one.
Matt, have you ever had an issue with that at Big Bite, with people having the same kind of creative avenue that they want to get involved in? And obviously two people having the same idea there.
Like same articles and that
Yeah,
sort of.
same
Okay.
kind of article thing.
Surprisingly, not yet.
Okay.
Where it hasn't really been an issue of people wanting to do separate things. If somebody has an idea that's similar to another idea that someone has, they work together on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is exactly the point that I was going to make. Work together on it. I need a quick moment because we're getting harassed on chat. Feel Good Friday, it was a good thing. Join it next week. Essentially, that was a project that I've started doing on Facebook. Hashtag FGF. This came from Rooster, who did it first, where literally they told how they got into the community. It was a really good experience for people to get to know each other and things like that. And our entire Facebook went to storm over that. Just 3 letters with a hashtag, and people told their stories, and that's how people made a lot of friends. So, small projects like that, they go far. And thank you guys for all getting involved in that. Working together on any kind of project is brilliant. If you've got the capacity to do that, like say, for example, okay, we've got the creative community in RTUK, and that incorporates cosplay, that incorporates art, that incorporates
Lots of stuff.
content creation as well, anything like that. We also have a Ruby UK page on Facebook. Now, you've got Ruby on the one side, you've got cosplay on the other, and I got one guy come to me and just go, I want to create a Ruby OC cosplay thing. And I'm like, okay, now we're taking the two main aspects from each of these pages into one, and that's kind of dividing it further. So I'm not someone who's going to look at them and just go, no, don't do it.
No.
Hell no. If you've got an idea, go nuts for it. It's not something that I'm promoting as part of RTUK necessarily, but I'm at the same time encouraging them to post these ideas on the creative page, on the Ruby page, and get people from them interested in if that's what they're interested in. And, you know, from that kind of thing, they can also join in with the admin team for that. Again, if you're along the same wavelength with it and you've got a certain idea, maybe you can bring something to that team other people haven't already thought about.
Yeah.
It's an entire teamwork, collaborative effort. So the more people you have for that, the better.
Yeah.
You know, don't stifle creativity and genius. Let it thrive how it needs to. Just give it a hand.
Yeah. Create more, not break it apart. Just put it together as best you can.
Cool.
No more big biting.
I actually think we're out of time basically now.
Big Bite is about bringing all the people together.
Yes, and that. So yeah, I think we're basically out of time. So I'd like to thank Matt and Tash and Craig for being on the panel with me, and I'd like to thank all of you for turning up and listening to us talk.
Thank you, Guardians, as well. For everything you're
thank
doing
you
as
to all
well.
the
Thank
Guardians
you.
who've run
Thank you to the
event.
Guardians for helping us out, especially.
Vince, you and I are going to have a chat.
Bye-bye.
Oh, if you want one of the free RT radio pins, come see me right now.
And also
Ooh
stay
la
tuned
la.
to bigbite.media for hashtag Craigsit shirts.
Craig's it.